Just look how slow the rage generation is when you use Qin Shi Huang as secondary. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Channel Musi Gamer, and today I want to talk to you about why you should never use the Emperor Qin as your secondary commander to whatever archer commander that you're pairing up with. And you have your answer right here. Do you see how slow that rage generation is? And I'll go over this in a little bit more detail when I actually look at the reports for this. But then again, it looks like the way that Qin Shi Huang's secondary works is that he's all his skill that is basically related to the rage consumption. Let's look at his kit first. Yeah, second skill that consumes 100 rage per second whenever you do basic attack. Where else? There's also this rage consumption. This is a net negative in terms of the rage consumption that you do at whatever skill level that it is. Anywhere from, I think, 10 to 50 if you're expertise in, based on how many targets that you hit. 10 to 60 actually. So 160 extra rage that you consume every single turn. I think if you get active skilled in the meantime also, then you also get a lot of rage actually reduced as well from the force skill as well. But what it looks like though is that whenever you're using Qin as secondary, it actually consumes the rage of the primary commander only. So when you use Qin as a secondary primary commander, it doesn't really matter at all. And I'll showcase that in a bit. But then again, if you use Qin as a primary commander, it's just gonna use its active skills as if any other commander pairing would do in Rise of Kingdoms, whereas Qin as a primary commander will fire off his active skill first, and then 1 or 2 or 3 seconds later, the secondary commander, which is Zhuge Liang here, is going to fire off his active skill, so that it just basically does the 1-2 combo that everyone else does. But look how slow that is. Oh my god. Like, look how slow the rage is filling up. Man, that's just crazy. But I'm going to actually pause this video for a bit and then bring out Qin Shi Huang as a primary commander and then show you the difference real quick. Alright, now I'm dispatching Qin Shi Huang as a primary commander. And as you can see, I have the same equipment that I have from Zhuge Liang. I just basically slap them on Qin Shi Huang right now. My Qin Shi Huang is not expertise, so it's going to have some downturn of having that rage generated for the force skill, just for those of you who are wondering why your Qin Shi Huang is firing off the skills a little faster. That's probably why. But let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so he's gonna fill up his rage bar. That is a rage consume bar for Qin Shi Huang, by the way. He's gonna fire off his active skill, which is expected. And then right away, Zhuge Liang fires off his active skill as it should be. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the report later to kind of find out like how many turns it actually took for my Zhuge Liang primary commander pairing would actually do, and then Qin Shi Huang primary commander will do as well, to kind of give you a better understanding of how that looks. But like, you can see the night and day difference, right? But yeah, it does fire off as all the other commander pairing will do in Rise of Kingdoms, right? Alright, so let's first take a look at the Qin Shi Huang primary log, right? If you look at the battle log, up to turn 11, that's when Qin Shi Huang fires off his active skill to keep his the Emperor, like the buff going, and also keep the AoE, buff kind of stable for his kit. And then at turn 13, this is when Zhuge Liang uses his active skill, right? 2000 damage factor, simple. As it should be for all commanders in Rise of Kingdoms, right? But when you look at the time that I use Zhuge Liang as primary, if you look at the battle log, it fires off something at turn 11, but this is actually not Zhuge Liang's active skill. This is Qin Shi Huang's active skill, 1 conquers 6. And then the skill that does get triggered is the Marquis of Zhongwu. which is the one that does 1500 damage factor that does not get triggered by amount of rage that you have. This triggers whenever you use the primary or secondary commander's active skill, and then that will do just extra 1500 damage factor. Okay, so then let's just go ahead and move on to, yeah, so that was turn 11, right? Then let's go ahead and move on to turn 20. Did he fire off his active skill this turn? No, it was actually Qin Shi Huang's skill again. And nothing from the Zhuge Liang skill actually activated except for the Marquise of Zhongwu, which is when he does gain the Marquise effect for the extra damage. And then at turn 35, it seems like he did some massive damage. This is when he uses his active skill for the first time. So at turn 13 versus turn 35, this is almost like 2 to 3 times difference of how fast you can generate rage for Zhuge Liang. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. Don't use Qin Shi Huang as secondary because it's gonna just eat up your primary commander's rage a lot. Qin Shi Huang will still be able to use his active skill, just like how you saw. But then again, the secondary commander or the primary commander that you're using in front of Qin Shi Huang will never be able to basically fire off his active skill, especially when you're getting hit by other commanders, because Qin Shi Huang has his 4 skill that consumes more rage as you basically get attacked by skill damage factor, combo damage factor, or smite damage factor that does deal more than 300 damage factor. So it does reduce the damage, but then again, it also consumes the rage, so it will keep the Qin Shi Huang going. But then again, whoever the pairing of Qin Shi Huang that you're using as primary will not be able to activate his active skill or her active skill when this actually takes off, because it took 35 turns for me to activate Zhuge Liang's active skill, and that means that every second you generate like 30 rage at max. Yeah, so don't use Zhuge Liang as primary. Don't use YSG as primary. Just use Qin Shi Huang as primary, as it's meant to be, so that you don't just cause unnecessary damage, like loss that you actually will get from using Qin Shi Huang as primary and then whatever the archer commander that you're using him with as secondary. So hope you guys actually liked this video. Hope you guys actually found this video helpful. If you guys did, please go ahead and drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video. Alright, peace!